Hey guys, welcome back to Still Respawning. So this is Devlog 12 and I've been working on Unity's Challenge 2. The goal is to use arrays and random number generation to program a little game where balls drop from the top of the screen and you send out a dog to catch them before they hit the ground. Sounds simple, right? But when you import the challenge, it's deliberately buggy. So here's how I fixed it, step by step. First up, the dogs were spawning at the top of the screen instead of the balls. The fix here was making sure the ball prefabs array was correctly set up. Once I swapped in the right prefabs, the balls spawned as they should. This was a pretty easy fix, but trust me guys, they get harder, and some of them I couldn't even fix. Next, pressing the spacebar was spawning a green ball instead of a dog. This one was fairly straightforward. The player's object's prefab variable was pointing to the wrong thing. Placing it with a dog prefab solved that instantly. The third issue I had to contend with was a bit fiddlier. The balls were being destroyed even when they were nowhere near the dog. So the problem was with the dog's box collider. I figured it out fairly quickly, but trying to change the box collider took longer than it should have. Every time I was adjusting it, I made it thinner, or I kept clicking out of the collider, and I had to go back into the prefab. So again, these are silly things which I need to learn to speed things up. But once I adjusted the collider, and if set up correctly, it worked perfectly. The next task to mark off the list was, I was noticing that all the dogs, all the balls, as they was coming off the screen, they were still showing up in the inspector. So this means they were not being destroyed as they was coming out of bounds. This, while you don't see it, can cause an issue with performance. At first, I made it more complicated than it needed to be. I messed with variable floats to change them to what was actually out of bounds, which when I tested it, it accidentally caused the dog to be destroyed immediately. So no dog was actually spawning. Eventually, I realized it was just a simple fix. The greater than and less than symbols were flipped in the destroy out of bounds script. Once I made that one small correction, it worked exactly as it's meant to. And the next bug that I found was that even though we had 3 different types of ball prefabs, only one of them was spawning. This is what I struggled with the most. I knew the solution involved a random index variable because I'd done it in earlier tutorials, but I couldn't spot where I'd gone wrong. And in the end, I had to borrow code from the previous tutorial where I had random animals spawning. At first, it still didn't work, but then, again, a silly mistake. I realized I forgot to have the update function. So after fixing that, it finally worked. And all 3 types of balls are now spawning eventually. I was finally nearing the end of actually having the game playing as it should do. not many errors left or bugs left that I could see. So the next one I found was actually the spawning interval for the balls. And I'll be honest with you, this one completely threw me. I tried different approaches using ranges, but I couldn't figure it out. And eventually I had to look it up online. Not ashamed to say it, I am still learning. And the important part is that I got it working. And now the spawn interval varies between 3 and 5 seconds. If anyone else can tell me in the comments below how to do this very simply, I'd really appreciate it, because I'm still struggling to understand this one. And guys, finally, the last bug. This bug was where you could actually keep spamming the dogs to come out one after the other, which was making it very easy to collect the balls and not achieve a game over if you'd like. So to stop the farmer from spawning his dogs, I added variables like spawn cooldown and next spawn time. And I put that into a function so a new dog can only spawn after the timer has passed. So 1 second, 2 seconds, etc. And it worked. Though I'm sure there may actually be an easier way to do this. If there is, again, please let me know. So, to wrap things up, the balls now spawn properly. The dog spawns on command, collisions work correctly, and everything gets destroyed off screen. I've also got the multiple ball types to appear randomly, with the timing varied, and also spam prevention is in place, so the dog can only come at set intervals. Guys, this challenge, it definitely tested me, but for me, I learned a lot. Debugging and figuring out workarounds, I guess this is a big part of teaching yourself how to code and to make games. And definitely some lessons I've taken to making my own games, Containment Breach, which I'm working on at the moment. As always, thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the episodes in the series, please drop a like, drop a comment, and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. I'll catch you in the next one.